Well, Dale Wilcox is the president of Immigration Reform Law Institute. Dale, great to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Dale, I bet you're like me. Over the last couple of weeks, I started to hear even Republicans start to use the term wall as if a technology wall was okay and they were getting away from a complete physical barrier. I'm hopeful both the vice president and the president's comments were clearing this up, but this was wordplay designed to confuse, correct?
That's what it sounds like. It's sad the establishment is trying to water this down and lower expectations, but as we all know, the president ran on a border wall, and he made clear then a big, beautiful wall, a physical wall.
Yeah, and I think it's imperative because I have looked at statistics of where they have built walls, specifically portions of the California border into Arizona, where literally in every instance they've built a wall, mind you, crossings have gone down. It will never cut it out altogether. We know that, but it will severely limit the number of crossings, and anyone that says anything differently is flat out lying.
It's true. You can look at countries that have built a border wall. Hungary, for instance, I think they had border crossings from Serbia. It was up to upwards of 300,000 a year. And then after they built their wall, it dropped to less than 18,000 a year. And this year alone, it's down to 1,000. Walls work.
Yeah, down near San Diego, I know they have built a very, very impressive wall there, and it reduced crossings by almost 96%, which is an amazing number. So we've got to get back to doing that. Speaking of California, California is the #1 sanctuary state in the country. Dale Wilcox, how do they get away with this?
Well, states do have a lot of autonomy in what they can do. However, California has gone too far. Their Senate Bill 54 went into effect January 1st, and essentially this bill, this new law, states that their state and local law enforcement cannot assist federal immigration authorities. We believe the law is unconstitutional. It violates the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution. It's disturbing that California has considered the interests and welfare of illegal aliens above their own citizens and legal residents.
Can you imagine the difference now between California passing laws to mandate that they don't comply with the federal government compared to Texas working on laws to mandate that officials do comply with federal law? The difference is stark, and I really believe the rest of the nation could learn from the Texas model.
Well, absolutely. Look at who has the lion's share of criminal aliens and illegal aliens in general. California, 2.6 million, and that was an estimate from almost 10 years ago. So contrast that with Texas, who is tough on illegal immigration and is a good partner with federal immigration authorities. Much different, much lower. Illegal aliens essentially come across the border and try to get to California, those places who have declared themselves sanctuary jurisdictions, at the peril of the citizens who live there.
Of course, and as soon as you declare yourself a sanctuary city or a sanctuary county or a sanctuary state, what's going to happen? Anybody who needs sanctuary is going to run there, and that's what we're seeing in California. What do you make of Director Homan's comments? This is the director of ICE, Immigration's Customs Enforcement, basically saying we need to start holding elected officials accountable. And basically, almost basically said nothing short of locking them up.
I agree with the director. It's interesting. California, they really took notice of Homan's comments, and since then, they've introduced a new Senate Bill 183. This bill says that ICE, and Homan's statement was, we will flood, California's law went into effect January 1st. We're going to flood California with ICE agents. So what did California do? They've introduced a bill that says ICE agents are not allowed in any California state building, courthouses, hospitals, schools, colleges, etc. That bill actually passed out of committee in the Senate in California 2 days ago.
Can you imagine? So California saying, no, we will not allow federal agents into public buildings in their own state. What do they want to do? Secede from the United States? What happens if we're invaded? What happens if a nuclear bomb is launched from North Korea to California? Do they not want the help of the federal government to stop it before it lands?
California would not do well to secede from the country. California is bankrupt. They're playing with their retirement funds to make it look like they're in the black. They depend on federal money. If they were to secede, they would go broke. So sadly, the rest of us are suffering for what California is doing.
I hate to keep comparing Texas and California, but think about this. California would not do well seceding from the United States. The United States may very well do very well if California seceded from the United States. Texas can handle its own if they seceded from the United States. America would be worse off if Texas seceded from the United States.
You're absolutely right. Texas, pro-law enforcement, pro-America, whereas California, sadly, these days have decided to cut themselves off from the country, except taking our money. And I feel bad for those residents and legal citizens there in the state.
Well, it is no coincidence that NRATV broadcasts from the heart of Texas, right here in Dallas. Dale Wilcox, we appreciate you coming on the program, my man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and great work that they do over there. I urge everyone to check out their work. Very, very informative. It's why we have them on. All right.